My name is Susan King. I have severe persistent mental health issues. I don't consider it an illness. I think it's part of my life. I've had psychosis probably since I was about 3 years old. A very eccentric grandmother that said, don't tell anybody because they won't understand. So I never did. Things got worse instead of better as I got older. I began crying every day and not knowing why. This would go on for weeks at a time. I have 2 beautiful children who watched me cry. After their father passed away, I went into a very deep hole, a depression that I couldn't come out of, and I finally sought some help. It was a really dark time in my life, but with some help I made it out, only to get myself dug into a deeper hole. I married a childhood sweetheart who was a raging drug addict, and I felt, well, if you can't beat them, you join them. So for about 15 years, I was a methamphetamine addict because I had stopped taking my meds, and that was my new medication. I loved it, and I was kind of a late bloomer. I didn't start doing drugs until I was in my 40s. After he passed away, I tried to commit suicide, and it was probably the turning point in my life. I didn't know that I had a mental illness. I just thought that I cried a lot, and I never got help. Once I got into the system back in Washington State, I was in a group setting, and I looked over at the person next to me, and she looked at me and said, do you know that I think we have a mental illness? And I said, I think you're right. Because that's what they're talking about in here. Neither of us, nobody had talked about the elephant in the room. So after I started getting treatment, I didn't stop doing the drugs, of course, because they were my real good buddies. But I had a doctor ask me, have you ever heard voices or seen things that weren't there? I said, well, doesn't everybody? Hey, I've been doing that since I was maybe 3 or 4 years old. I said, well, you can't treat depression and not treat the psychosis. So that was my first leap into real medication for mental health issues. I was taking a lot of medication, which I don't know if it was good or not. I drooled a lot. But my family living on Maui decided that it was time for me to come home from Washington State. So my son came and brought me home, and I started healing. I had the love and support of my family, and I started not taking some medications, doubling up on others. Finally got off of drugs when my daughter had my granddaughter, and I couldn't think how this little precious angel could love me because I was such a piece of crap. And then I realized, well, I had to love myself first, and I did. I started healing, and as I healed, I met some amazing people that told me that, yeah, recovery is possible. And at first, you kind of buy into it and not really believe it. So then I became an advocate. I started working with other people that had mental health issues. I became the Hawaii 2013 Adult Consumer Advocate of the Year because I believe that we can reach our fullest potentials. We're not all the same. I became a certified peer specialist in the state of Hawaii. And after my internship, I fought for a job, and I volunteered. Whatever it took, I knew that this was going to be my calling, because I had learned to love myself and love my life. And it's just been an amazing experience. I've gone from being homeless, a homeless drug addict, and now I have a full-time job. I bought a condo. Life is so amazing. I have so much to be grateful for, and it's just now, if I can help anybody on their road to recovery, I don't think it's a job. I think it's just my destiny that I have to do it. And life is so good, and it's worth living. Thank you.